Hi everybody, my name's Kristie. I am a Nurse Practitioner Candidate based in South Australia. Firstly, thank you to the Obesity Collective for asking me to come and speak to you all today. I have quite a diverse background. I've been nursing for about 16 years, primarily in the chronic disease and complex health area of primary health, as well as ward nursing and things like that. But I'm also a lived experience person, and I've been living with obesity since I was a child. So I bring a very unique perspective of care and approach to care, in the fact of I've dealt with the stigmatisms and then I care for the stigmatisms as well. Next, please, Nancy. So my talk today is just briefly discussing perceptions and what is perception. So if we review the dictionary meaning, it's the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. And it is the way in which something is regarded, understood, or interpreted. So in healthcare, it's using our skills to understand what is around us and to make assumptions, which is a horrible word, about the person that's sitting in front of us. We have 15, 10, realistically 5 minutes to meet, greet and treat a patient. And we use perception to help us make a therapeutic relationship. However, perceptions cannot also always be very helpful. Next, please, Nancy. So some positives for perception: it dictates the reality in which you see and live in. Obviously, there are a lot of substances and things out there that alter our reality. However, this is based on our clinical judgment, what we see, what we hear, often what we smell when we're dealing with people and patients and our community. It also talks on gut feeling and that intuition of something's wrong, what can we do? Next. The side effects of poor perception and perception that comes with judgmental bias: it creates a judgment of the person or their situation. So it makes a judgment about a person sitting next to you without them actually telling you their story. This can then in turn cause a breakdown of the therapeutic relationship and therefore make the person not want to reach out for help, which in turn causes poor health outcomes. Next, please, Nancy. So as a nurse, I've seen and I use perception to engage with my clients. However, I've seen the side effects of poor perceptions, and I have seen countless people too embarrassed to access help for fear of judgment based on their size. I've had patients tell me it's just the way I fit in the waiting room chairs. It happens naturally. We make assumptions based on what a person looks like in regards to their health without taking a full history or looking at the complexities that is obesity. The word obesity comes with some stigma, obviously, and for years like Ted was saying before, it was an idea that it was something that could be prevented with simple measures, and therefore if someone is obese, they clearly haven't followed the prevention education that's out there, which is not true. However, the person who is obese comes in with these ideas, is ready to be named and shamed, even though it shouldn't happen. It does, and therefore they have a lot of guilt associated, so they don't want to reach out for help. Next, please. So as a person living with obesity, my own health concerns have been overlooked because I was overweight, and things were put down to me just being overweight. Symptoms that are quite often associated with being overweight, but are often associated with other things. I was left for 3.5 years with a tumour, which wasn't investigated because I was told it was just because of my weight. I've also been exposed to unnecessary testing. So because I was a big girl, it was automatically decided I was diabetic. So I have donated 6 hours of my time completing 3 GTTs, all for them to come back to say that I am not diabetic. And I've also found that a lot of clinicians have limited to no understanding of nutrition. They look at the latest guideline and they don't actually understand the complexities of what is nutrition and eating for health, and they're unable to look at treat the person with the whole person. So obesity isn't just what you put in your mouth, there's so many other factors that can contribute to it and can cause complications because of it. And the next one, thanks. So as a member of my community, I've seen people judged because of their weight, things like missing out on team sports, not being able to find seating, especially in waiting rooms. So there's those sorts of factors, physical, environmental factors that makes it hard for someone to reach out for help if they are suffering from obesity. I think one of the most interesting ones, the interesting phenomenon, is what's in my shopping trolley. So I'm a registered nutritionist, I'm obviously a nurse, and I'm a bigger person, and I feel judged if I put something in my trolley that's not 100% perfect. And we need to get rid of that idea. We need to be able to create a space for everyone to feel comfortable and to be able to enjoy life, not limiting their nutrition or their activity. Next one, please. So how can we improve these perceptions and make it easier for people to access support? Education. I'm a huge one, and if you'll sit with me long enough, I'll talk to you about things that we can change to engage people in our healthcare. We need to also create awareness around the complexities of obesity, and just like the work that the Obesity Collective are doing, we need to ensure that all practitioners, from the first day they start studying or start the topic of endocrine and obesity, that obesity is a complex issue, and it's not just as simple as restricting your calories and going for a walk. We also need to keep an eye on the appropriate use of language and imaging in social media and the general community, so that we're not unconsciously chastising these people. Just lastly, I just think this is a great summary of the power of perception. I'll tell you a story about Joe. He's quite excited because he has 3 meals a day cooked for him. He has company and companionship, which is unlimited. He doesn't have to do the dishes, washing or ironing, and he has no commute to work, which is fantastic. He gets exercise daily and he has endless hours for reading. Now, on paper, that sounds fantastic, but unless you unpack all of Joe's story, you realise he's in prison. He is in jail, he's incarcerated, and therefore he has no other option. But if we only take part of the story and make judgment on that, we think Joe's got it pretty good. So unless we take a full view and look at the whole person and their whole environment, we will never have holistic care. Thank you, guys.